First topic I wanted to start on was obviously the one that's in the forefront of everyone's mind right now. Seb knows what I'm going to say as well. The Pedro situation. Like, what do you reckon happened there, Seb? Because one minute he's coming United, and everyone's expecting like Pedro to be at United. Everyone thought it's a done deal. 2 minutes later, I'm seeing Chelsea just swoop in there, do the same thing they did with John Obi Mikel, same thing they did with Mata to Arsenal, same thing they did with all these sort of players, Robben and that. Like, I just see this guy. This is now a Chelsea guy. Like, what's going on?
I don't know, man. I think it's a bit different from the other deals. Like, the word coming out is United dropped interest. How true that is, we don't know. But, like, he was linked with us for a long time. It seemed like terms were agreed and whatnot. Then next thing you know, like, I'm seeing like Van Gaal's dropped interest, not interested anymore. Like, so I don't know whether that's like he's seen something from a player in training, like Januzaj, or he thinks the Depay might come like show a lot more sooner than he expected. But
Yo, I need to keep it 1 billion. Yeah, I reckon Pedro just didn't want to go United. That's my theory. I think he just thought. I think he was like, obviously, like he's probably set on going United, and then boom, his agent must have been like, "Yo, Chelsea have come in. Chelsea have made a bid." He's thinking, "Raw, okay, it's like Chelsea United, it's going Chelsea." I think he's seen. That's my opinion because there's no way that United could not afford to buy Pedro. There's
nah,
no way they would have stretched to 30 mil for him. Like,
yeah,
there's
because you were saying Pedro was saying that like Mourinho made a few calls to him saying like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you're gonna make the team stronger, this and that. So that might have swung it for him.
I reckon that Pedro just preferred the Chelsea move. Travis, what do you reckon?
I'd agree. I'd agree. I think Pedro would have just preferred to go to Chelsea. I think at this moment in time, the club which are most likely to win trophies at right now is probably Chelsea. Yeah, for the last 2 weeks they've been going through a bit of a crisis in their standards, but I think at the end of the season you will end up probably being more successful at Chelsea in 2015. I think that's probably what it is. Because, like you said, there's no way United couldn't afford him. Like, boom, if they said 30 mil, United would have been able to slap that on the table quick.
But what do you think though? Do you think like he'll slot straight into Chelsea's team? They've got Willian, who's performed well. They've got Hazard on the other side, and Oscar that plays top of that midfield. Like, does he go
He,
straight in and replace Willian?
he
It's
ain't
inter-
fitting in there, man. He's gonna have to battle it out with Willian,
yeah,
and yeah, it's
and
gonna be another Cuadrado situation, isn't it?
it's an interesting question because, like, if you look at it, Willian's probably been Chelsea haven't been great this season, but Willian's probably been one of their best players this season. So it's like it'd be harsh for him to come in and just take Willian's spot. And I doubt he's gonna. Well, he can't take Hazard's spot because he's like the golden boy over there at the moment. So you might have to battle it out. But then at the same time, we've seen the season with Arsenal. Oxlade-Chamberlain's arguably been the best player at Arsenal, and he's just been pushed aside now. Alexis has come back, so I think maybe Willian might have to just take a side seat whilst Pedro comes in.
Whew. See,
Whereas you got to think he'd definitely start at Man United. Do you know what I mean?
He goes straight in.
It's straight in.
that's what I'm saying. I know Van Gaal wanted that deal to go through, innit? It wasn't an Edward Wood flop. It wasn't a Van Gaal flop. They put their offer out there. Their offer would have been probably similar, if not exactly the same as Chelsea's. And I think it was just player choice. That's also why Van Gaal's not coming out in public and saying the exact reason. He's just dodging. He's dodging the answers, innit? Like the press today were peppering him, trying to get the answer out of him. He's just dodging it. Like, so that's why I reckon it was player choice, man, player preference. But I think he would have slotted in at Man United more. But I
Yeah,
reckon it was
definitely.
he would have been a regular starter. But I reckon it was the Mourinho factor. Some players like that whole Mourinho talk, and you would have just spoke to him and just softened him up, man, for that transfer.
Yeah.
But this is the thing about the player choice. Like Van Gaal was at Barca for a few years, so he knows the whole philosophy of Barcelona and that. Like, I don't know, Pedro. I don't know, man. I think he could have been like a perfect fit, man. Like Van Gaal's philosophy is similar.
He would have. He's a consistent
Yeah,
player as well, isn't it? Like he's not a mood player. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not one of those players who might give you a sick game and then might not in it. He's quite consistent. From watching him at Barcelona, he's been one of their most consistent players in it over the last like good
because Di
few years.
Maria's problem was he was too off the cuff. that Pedro can like come in, play a role, and stick to that role.
Also, Pedro is pretty much an out-and-out winger. Do you know what I'm saying? Di Maria is
So
one of those players you can play through the middle. You can play him on the wing. Then it gets a bit iffy when you put them in like you stick them in one position
guys,
and they
what
don't.
happened? Like, what happens now at Man United? Like surely something's gonna
So
happen now. Like, surely they've got something up
they're
their
coming
sleeve.
for that Southampton Donny, innit? That Saido Mane over there, innit?
Mane. I mean, Arsenal fans know he gave us problems, but
Yeah.
it's like he's a good player.
He's got the
But
fastest hat trick in Premiership history, man.
yeah,
That's not some any easy record to get, man.
I love that record as well because
2 minutes. Are
it
you mad?
wiped it wiped Robbie Fowler's out of the book. Robbie Fowler's against Arsenal out the book. So
He's
at
not
the
any
time,
player, man. Look, man.
he's good.
pe-
He's good.
People need to remember that it's not all about names, bruv.
Yeah,
It's
and
not always about names, man. It's
he's
about
got Premier League.
effectiveness.
It's about effectiveness, and he's got Premier League experience. And traditionally for Man United, this is from what I've seen over the years. They
Yeah, I
like
know
a
exactly
winger.
what you're gonna say.
They like a winger who can get down the wing and just get the ball in, bro. Like from early, like
Their wingers,
early
Man United wingers are out and out wingers. They always have
wingers.
been,
Yeah,
innit?
and I think
Like,
that's
what they've been missing.
is in their philosophy. Like get down the byline, whip it in.
And that's it, innit? Just do
Yeah.
your job,
And I
man.
think
Let the
if
other
Man,
midfielders do their job.
I think that's probably why Valencia's spent so long at Man United. Like, I think that's why they got him originally. Same with Ashley Young. Well, actually, Ashley Young's more of a cut-in kind of type, but
Nah, but he's still
Pace, creativity.
yeah,
he's still done. He did a job for a good year, 2 years. I'll give him maybe two. But yeah, man. I think that would have been a perfect fit for United, Pedro. Now, I mean that side that they're I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Saido Mane? Yeah.
Sadio
Mane.
Mane. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, him. Is he not a bit more of a forward type player though? Like,
Yeah, we did see last year when he played on the wing and he got moved into like behind the striker. He
okay,
was a lot more efficient in front of goal and whatnot. He started scoring goals.
yeah, he's got a decent goal record. I swear he got like 10 goals last season or something like that. Like,
I think so.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like it's a decent replacement, but that's the thing. Will they be able to get him? Financially, we know that United can pretty much get anyone in the world. It's just whether the other clubs like are willing to sell for whatever price. They don't want to bid for him something that looks too ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and
Southampton are getting raided again, man. Like it's happening every season now. Like,
Yeah, like I'm seeing Tottenham interested in Victor Wanyama.
oh man, like it happened last season and they managed to recover, but this season it could be bad. Have they? How they going this season? Yeah, they got spun by Everton on the weekend at home, so it might
what are
not
we
be.
saying about Chelsea start then? What do you reckon? It's just a blip, or do you reckon that they're going to hold it up this weekend? Yeah, come back, or do you reckon it could be a bit tense? And also, actually, my bigger question is why has this happened? Because it's the exact same team as last season.
Mm.
I mean, there's talk about how Mourinho gave them the whole month off after the season, so they started their pre-season later. Played less games, I think, as well.
Yeah,
So you see, they took a calculated risk in doing so. So far hasn't paid off, but
the
it's
community.
Chelsea, man.
I think the Community Shield showed that because Arsenal looked a lot sharper on the day, and that was Arsenal's last preseason game, whereas I think Chelsea still had one more after that, which was crazy to think that they played another preseason game.
So you reckon they're just lagging a little bit?
Yeah, very poor preparation.
So you don't
Very
reckon
poor
it's anything to
preparation.
do with like players not being adequate, maybe getting aging a little bit at the back or anything like that?
As you said, they won the league last year, and it's kind of like it's pretty much the same team. But then what you got to remember is they kind of hobbled over the line in
Yeah,
the end.
exactly. They didn't fly through the line. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it kind of hobbled over the line. I think one of my favorite quotes from the weekend was Alan Shearer saying that Fabregas is running like he's carrying a fridge on his back or something. I find that quite funny. I think he hasn't played well for a few months.
Yeah,
For
he's
me,
been in
really.
bad form, man. He started off
Mm.
flying last season, but then I
Flying.
remember looking at his stats recently. Last season Considering he ended it badly, he had 19 assists in the Premier League, bro. Are you mad? Like,
That's crazy.
how are you gonna get 19 assists and like have a good few months of bad football? Like,
I don't think anyone's put up numbers like that since Henry and Ryan Giggs were in their prime, really.
I know it's mental.
Nah, definitely not.
But I mean, like,
But also touching on yeah, since we've touched on United and Chelsea, what do you reckon about how strong Man City look?
oh man, they're surprising me. They are surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. I think it's the Aguero factor and the fact that Yaya looks to be back in his groove again. I
It's
mean,
their spine, isn't it?
yeah, like it is
The
probably
company.
it's not probably, it's the best spine in English football. Like, you got Hart in goal, solid keeper. They've
The,
sorted out their defense now.
the way they worked Chelsea was just mad.
It was great. I've never seen Chelsea opened up like that ever. A Mourinho Chelsea team, shall I say? Like, it was great. They were just open. Everything was open, like just severed open. You got Silva and Fernandinho's looking good. Yaya's back to his, like. If they could keep Aguero fit, then I don't know. They could run away with it. But you can't rule out Chelsea. At the end of the day, there's still plenty of points to play for.
And they're talking about adding Kevin De Bruyne to that as well.
Or Man City.
Man City, yeah. So it's Silva, Sterling, Navas, De Bruyne.
Oh,
Aguero looks strong going forward, doesn't it? Really.
What do you reckon about their recent purchase of Otamendi?
I'm surprised Chelsea didn't go for him.
Because I mean, realistically, he's only had like one season where he's sort of shone in Spain. But obviously, I think he's known as kind of like a player who stops the big boys, isn't it? He had really good performances against Ronaldo and Messi, innit? So people were like, "Oh, this guy." But it'd be interesting to see how he does. I think, yeah, he's just there to bolster up the defense, really.
What happened? What happened? Like, I thought Chelsea could have gone for him. What happened when United supposed to go for Otamendi?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there.
I don't know. There's a link. We're linked to him for the whole of summer. It seems like.
I think much like Arsenal, United tend to get linked to everyone, don't they? Like, similar kind of thing.
I want to know why Van Gaal's not targeting more defensive players. I said this before.
Yeah, he's talking recently about how he's got a lot of centre backs there already. I mean, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling looks decent in the couple of games he's played this season.
Yeah, he has, to be fair.
He's quite keen on the right foot, our centre back on the right side, left foot on the left side.
Seb, what are you saying about Depay, man?
Depay, he had a good game the other day, man.
I know, but I don't want to get fooled by this because, like, obviously it was a lesser team, innit? They weren't a big team, so I don't want to get too excited, yeah. But yeah, he looks good in that game. But like, will he be able to hold it up in that number 7 role for United for the rest of the season? Like, can he do that?
Got to remember, he's still young. He's only 21. So
Nah, I'm not having it. Once you get that number 7 role at United, you better be putting in work, cause from the off, like, there's no. I'm trying to see something in it. Like, I don't know, man. Like I said before, I think he's a Fergie type signing, isn't it? But I think Fergie would have ended up maybe like easing him into that role. Like, I could not imagine him starting straight away in a Fergie team. Like,
I think where Van Gaal's had him before with the national team, he knows what he can do.
so he just put all his faith in him.
I think he just have full trust in him. Comes across as a confident player. Doesn't doubt his ability. So there's no reason why he can't go out there and start performing straight away.
Yeah.
If he can show that form again in the Premier League, then boom, we've got a player on our hands, man.